For years, I've been in online groups with people who sell on Etsy like I once did, and every so often, someone goes off on a long rant about how their account was shut down for copyright infringement, usually by Disney or Marvel. Meanwhile, they complain that there's another shop who's selling all those same items and no one's done anything about it. Here's another example I've seen of this recently on TikTok. Some creators have huge followings from roasting Tinder profiles. And while I admit they can be hilarious, I've also seen creators complain that their accounts were shut down because they didn't know they weren't supposed to do that. Tinder will probably let you get away with it until someone complains because it's their profile you're roasting. Those are just two examples, but I've seen many others over the years where accounts get shut down because of copyright infringement. Why do some companies wait longer than others to file takedown notices? I have theories, but when it comes to Etsy and those people who think they can get away with selling handmade Disney knockoffs, what's funny is it's often the first time that person ever posts in that group because they've never had a reason before. They've been a lurker for the past 5 years, but now they finally have something they need to get off their chest. They've just been dealt a devastating financial blow, and they consider themselves the victim because Disney was the big corporation. They're just a little guy, right? And it's always something like, Etsy shut my shop down with no warning after I finally quit my job a few months ago. We can't afford to lose this money. Why did they do this to me when only 2 of my products violated terms of service and all these other shops are selling the same things? Okay, you don't realize it, but you just answered your own question. Again, this is just a theory based on what I've observed online and my years of corporate finance prior to that. I believe they deliberately wait until you've gotten big enough that this is real money to you, because then you will do exactly what you just did. The bigger you are, the harder you fall, and the louder the noise you make. A hurt dog will holler. You hollered at the top of your lungs in a Facebook group because you were so distraught over losing all that money after you just quit your job. The public display I just described is called making you a public sacrifice. In other words, they did it on purpose to make an example out of you. They wanted you to be so upset that you'd go to that group and complain, and it would be a warning to everyone else in that group, thousands of people. They do it for the same reason why I once had a neighbor who used to hang an actual, no longer alive crow in his garden instead of a scarecrow. It was a decoy, a warning to the other crows. And it worked. It was gross to drive past it every day, but it kept the crows out of his garden. You don't even realize that's what Etsy did to you. They unalived you in front of everyone. They shot you right down out of the sky. Doesn't have to be Etsy. It happens with Shopify or Amazon, eBay, YouTube, even Poshmark. Happens all over the place. And it usually happens after it becomes your main source of income. I don't think that's the main reason they do it. I just think that's a side benefit. I think it does factor into their consideration. Let me explain. I was once in a Facebook group with a lot of small boutique owners, like very small businesses who sell primarily from Facebook groups themselves. And a naive young lady was upset because her Etsy shop was shut down over copyright infringement. It blew her mind and a lot of other people's minds because they just didn't know how it works. She said, I can't believe it's someone's job to sit there and run Google searches for this all day. That's not even close to how it works. They use bots, automated technology to file notices in seconds. They were doing it 10 years ago. No one sits at a desk doing manual Google searches all day, so please don't trick yourself into thinking that's why you're going to get away with this. DMCA stands for Digital Millennium Copyright Act. That's the law that grants the right to file a notice to protect your online property. So when we file a notice, it's called a DMCA takedown notice. I used to pay a monthly service that filed those automatically for me for pirated ebooks, so I know how it works. I paid one monthly fee and they filed constant notices for a long list of dozens of books like it was nothing. I think what triggers the Disney bot to take your shop down is most likely your Google search results. Again, this is all speculation based on what I've observed online and my past experience in corporate finance, but I can tell you that Google loves Etsy. Etsy shops rank high on Google, and you probably started ranking for a certain keyword on the first page or on Google Shopping, which means you've gone too far. That's when the bots found you and filed the notice with Etsy, because that's where you went from giving them free advertising with your knockoffs to what we call a material amount. In layman's terms, it means an amount that substantially matters. It's usually a percentage of error, like a small discrepancy allowed. Like if you are reconciling a cash register, it's down to the penny usually because a cash register can only hold so much. For larger corporations, an account might have an allowable discrepancy of thousands of dollars, but it's such a low percentage of the total amount that it's considered immaterial or irrelevant, not worth looking for. It's always relative to the size of the company and the amount of money passing through. So why do some companies file the notice sooner? Some companies do, like Tiffany. Try using the name of their color, their branded trademark color, in a product description at Etsy and see what happens. It'll be very swift. But they usually don't shut down your shop. They just make that listing inactive. If you continue to violate terms, Etsy can and will deactivate your shop. Tiffany is an exclusive high-end luxury brand, so they go to greater lengths to protect that brand. In the next video, I'm going to talk more about copyright infringement can sometimes be free advertising for certain companies, and that's why they don't go after knockoffs. Please like and subscribe. This is Liz Jones with Passive Income Truly. Thank you.